Oh wait, no. Hamon?
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
Got him!
Oh.
We're in Literally Limbs
We are
podcast where we're ripping off labels.
We are staying hydrated.
Hydrated. Sure, let's go with that one. We're staying hydrated. Matt's a collage at the moment at 240p for some reason, but I'm liking it.
Why is that happening?
I don't know.
Don't worry, Matt. I have my label from the previous week.
Wait. And now it's freezing.
Turn off your... It's not freezing for me. I guess you could just try toggling the camera. All right. So, week 3.
Why is it so low quality?
I don't know. Now it's good. Let me go on with the show.
It's like autofocusing.
Week 3 of the... It's autofocus. Week 3 of NALCS is finished. We have some big news that has happened this week. The biggest of big news.
You're gonna do this bullshit, really?
Hell yeah, Sven has died! They killed him! He's dead!
They did it, fellas. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, they got him.
Mission accomplished.
It was Dig who got him, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It took Dignitas pushing him to get it to kill.
It took Dignitas.
Yep. Team DIG.
We needed to call in our best. North America's finest.
Okay.
Commander, we have
secured. So besides that,
what did you just say, Hamon?
Commander, we have secured the bet.
The wrong Dignitas, but I like the thought.
Also wrong game. All right. So besides,
no. Old Dig referred to the owner as commanders.
Oh, did they?
No,
I didn't know that.
That was a lie.
Okay.
I just made that up.
Well, listen here, Sonny boy. So besides the Sven death, what else big has happened this weekend? Anybody else got something?
There are 2 glaring losses. There's 1 glaring loss and 1 hard carry by my boy Keith. Proving you wrong, of course, yet again, because you always manage to be wrong.
Proving everyone wrong.
Not me, bro. That's my boy.
Hold on just a second. Let me see what that call was though. Let me see what that.
No, I definitely called TL because I'm not insane, but that's my boy Keith.
No one would think you were. Well, no one would call you insane now.
No, if I called if I called Golden Guardians next time, I would still think I'm a little insane. Because next time they play, I think they have Roxa.
We are both calling GG. Oh, you mean against TL? Yeah. Oh yeah. Next time they play, they definitely have Roxa. 100%.
Okay. Well, what's that mean for TL though?
Well,
come on, it's an 0-2 week. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah. I was hoping one of you would bring up this gigantic 0-2 week that they pulled out.
We did, because you didn't give us a chance to do it naturally. We just
naturally.
It didn't come. You forced it. You were like, I was hoping. It's like, of course it was gonna come up. You led us. You literally walked us into it.
You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, Matt. So yeah, Team Liquid had an 0-2 week this week. I think is EG the only other team that went 0-2 this weekend?
Yes.
And let's see our EG stats.
Man, TL's such a fucking wild card.
Yeah.
Things I did not expect to hear.
Alright, before we get into that, do we want to talk about the picks we had from last week and how me and Matt got fucking shafted on our TSM upset call out?
We got shafted.
Absolutely.
We lost to Hamon by 1 game. It'll never happen again, unless it does, in which case it will happen again.
Apparently, I have more faith than Anthony calling.
Well, you picked CLG twice.
Yeah, sometimes you have faith. Sometimes you got the. Hamon, just wait till I expose how you make your picks later in this episode, you motherfucker.
Oh no!
Sure.
You're getting exposed, son, because you have the most fucking ridiculous process. I don't care if Anthony knows, bro. He's gonna hear it again.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think anybody was expecting 100 Thieves to really turn it on as hard as they did this week, but they did.
They did.
They looked really good this week.
Let's take it back a notch, just a little bit.
Did you see their TL game? Meteos was going ham. Someday was smacking fools.
I saw Meteos go, I'm tired of people fucking invading me. I will fight for my goddamn blue. And I will get it. And then afterwards, you know, who was it? Stunt was roaming over around mid lane, probably to support his jungler, maybe to support his mid laner. And he was like, huh, you know, I saw a blind man appear in the mid lane. How do you catch a blind man as Thresh?
Hook.
Easy. A blind hook.
That blind hook was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would
chef's
ever go
kiss
for that.
Thresh hook, fellas. What are you talking about?
I think I wait for him to round that corner.
That is a Michelin star rated Thresh hook right there. That is delicious. You love to see.
Mm-hmm. Really served it up on the platter for Meteos on the Gragas, and he devoured it.
So the only other team that kind of stood out to me this week was how CLG did not lose a game this weekend. CLG and I think CLG, TSM, and Cloud9 all went 2-0 this weekend, correct?
I believe you're correct.
So, what do we think is happening with CLG real quick? Are they?
Did you say CLG went 2-0 this week?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. IMT beat them in a. Okay. IMT beat them. Let's go with that one.
Very solidly.
Solidly. Did we both watch that game?
No.
If he thinks it's solid, then you both did not.
Okay. Anyhow, but
that was my mistake. But still, they beat Evil Geniuses, and they basically took it to IMT. Do they look like they're improving, or are there other problems with other teams that just kind of came up?
They're still improving. I don't know how much they're actually going to improve before the end of the split. It's been very progressively slowly. They've been improving week by week, but I still don't know if they have a sudden spike and all of a sudden they're just good, and then they beat everyone.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening, but they at least make it into the top 8 spots for playoffs.
Well, it's only 6 for spring.
Only 6 for spring? Okay.
It's 8 for summer, because... Yeah, let's do that. That's fun. That's a good idea.
In that case, I have a little less... I can see them squeaking a 6th. I can see that.
You're fucking crazy.
Hey, I want to be an optimist. All right.
Okay.
This is my optimism.
Who doesn't make it, to make it easy for you? What teams don't make it over CLG?
GG, EG, TL. I went bold-faced with a TL call.
You're still missing a team.
That's fucking insane, bro.
Not only are you crazy, but you're still missing a team.
Right.
Hang on. Who else isn't making playoffs?
Oh, fuck.
You know the real flame answer.
Hang on. So you said
you know what the real flame answer is.
EG and TL.
I know the flame answer.
What do you think the flame answer is?
TSM.
No, the flame answer was C9. They're about to get washed. And then you spend the rest of the split, you never pick C9 to win, and you're like, they're gonna get washed.
Oh my god.
So
I've been trying to pick every other team over C9 because some way, somehow, they're gonna let it go. I just don't know when.
When? When are they gonna let it go to a team that's not TSM at this point?
When Broxa comes,
TSM
maybe.
or Dignitas.
They beat Dig!
Yeah, they
played Dig this week! They trounced them! They thoroughly thrashed them!
It was pretty filthy.
Okay. I do not think Dig's going to be put down completely from that one.
I don't think so either.
So are you saying you're saying in the salty run back later in the split, you think Dig has it?
I think a Dig might have it. I'm not 100% confident that's going to happen.
You're doing what we were talking about earlier. You're yes-anding yourself into stupidity.
You're absolutely damn right.
You're actually what you're doing right now is you're going yes and to yourself and making dumber and dumber calls for no reason. Like, this is
that the process?
I feel like the fact that he started with TL not making playoffs in this backing up of his argument is just an exemplary of how bad this argument is.
See, the problem with TL is that right now their team looks like a bunch of solo queue players. They're all good independent.
Solo queue players that are better than most of the people in the LCS, bro.
These guys are fighting for #1 in this league in every position.
I know, but the unfortunate part is that right now they're just hitting mental block. And if Brock steps in and can't fit that mental block, the roster just goes boom.
All right, so let's go fully into TL. They played 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians, and according to Steve on a Hotline League last night, Broxa should be arriving by this weekend, but he wasn't very certain about it. So we don't know, and we don't even know if he's gonna be here and they'll still play. It's a big question mark.
It is a very big question mark. So I'm very worried about this TL squad. This has happened pretty often. As you know, I'm an SKT fan, and a lot of times, when they came off of their Worlds win, and people were like, "Oh, this is SKT. Look at this dynasty. They've been great. They're gonna pick it up." And then, like halfway through the split, "Oh, this is the dynasty. You know, we still have to give them the benefit of the doubt until all the way till playoffs." And then that was kind of it. This is kind of the same feeling that I'm getting from TL. It's not necessarily going to happen, but it's starting to look like it.
I'd like to point out I said they would win another final after their 4th, and so far I'm getting the big thumbs up from the match record. So
yeah,
just wait for the 8 Pete.
Just wait.
They're gonna win 4 titles in a row 4 times. 16 straight. 16 straight. It's gonna be a rough 8 years, Anthony. It's gonna be
watching.
It's gonna be a rough 8 years,
it's 6
boys.
years after at this point, but
no, I just meant total. Because then we're gonna, after the end of the next 6, we're gonna look back at these 2 as also pretty goddamn rough.
If they win these next 2, I might just stop watching and become like a Korean fan. I'll become.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing the LCK podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, they did start an LCK podcast called The Podcast. So go figure.
All right, that's
not necessary.
I'm not interested in LS and his whatever project. So, what do we think Brox is gonna do when he joins TL in this next week or so? Is he gonna bring them up from the jungle position, which hasn't looked like it's been the problem for them? Is he gonna fix their stupid ass drafting? Is he gonna somehow magic
He's
bullet
definitely not
anything?
gonna fix their drafting because he can't do that.
You see, the thing was that before Broxa was boot camping with Jensen, before this unfortunate visa incident happened to happen. So maybe they step up the jungle mid synergy when he does come in. Maybe they don't. It's a really big question mark. So if perhaps they get just a bit more cohesiveness on this team, then they'll probably get a couple more dubs. But if they can't bring any cohesiveness at all, because they're doing like the right things at the right time, but they're just still losing.
So their match record right now is 2-4. In all 4 of their losses, they've lost on Senna.
Oh, okay,
so,
all right.
So what do we really think about that? Do we think that Doublelift is bad at Senna, or do we think that TL is bad at playing around Senna? Because Jack did this little piece where he explained how Senna's wave clear is absolute garbage because it's garbage, and that it was clashing with their playstyle of putting Doublelift in a side lane to farm up. Do you think that is exemplary of their entire understanding of Senna, or is that just they have a bad habit of sending TL to farm sideways on bad farming 80?
Most teams that Doublelift have been on have done this strategy a lot.
Well,
that's it's just he's such a good AD carry to do that with.
He wasn't a good AD carry when they did it with him on CLG though. He was he was pretty good, but he was not the best in the league until he won. I wouldn't even say he was the best AD carry in the league when he won. Like until he joined TSM, I don't think it was quite that definitive.
No, but he was always in contention, right?
Yep.
The problem is that he was just seen as the carry for CLG and not necessarily a good AD carry.
Okay.
I think he was always considered mechanically good.
Sure.
His best champions were always like Lucian and Vayne. Like,
well, yeah, he was notorious for his Vayne picks. I think there's a famous clip of CLG versus TSM where TSM sieging second top turret, and they're just like calling for the turret, hit turret, hit turret. Then Vayne pops up right next to Krugs, and they're like Vayne, 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 and they all pile on Vayne.
Yeah, he's crazy at Vayne.
Pretty sure he dies there.
Maybe, but still.
Yeah. You know what? Something.
So is Doublelift really just the worst Senna in the LCS? Because that's what I think. I think he's just garbage at Senna in general. He doesn't seem to play her well at all to me.
I would rather ask Matt this question.
Why?
Because
what secret knowledge do I have that you do not, Haymon?
Because I just don't know. At the same time, Senna, like, everything's just a goddamn auto attack. And I don't know.
No.
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 Everything's an auto.
What does it? Hang on, wait. What does that mean?
Everything, basically, your Q, your W, your R can all proc as an auto attack.
What does that mean?
For the sake of your passive.
And also why do you think that matters here? Why do you think that? Literally, why do you think that matters?
The question is Doublelift the worst Senna in the LCS? And that's a sort of exaggerated question because I don't think he's the worst Senna in the LCS. I just think he's particularly bad at it and he's uncomfortable, and they shouldn't be picking something for him that he doesn't want to play.
I think that's certainly true, and I think that's echoes of what we've said about AD carries on mages in the past. Senna, I will say, to me, was a little more difficult to pick up because she plays a lot less like an AD carry than some other AD carries, right? At least just like, she didn't play. I mean, she's more supporty, which is fine, but like her attack speed stuff always was difficult. I imagine Doublelift is much better than I am, so get over that much quicker, right? But like,
surprised.
No, I think he's much better than I am.
Yeah, but a lot of pro players have very hard very hard habits to break.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He might just not be the best at Senna, or Senna also doesn't scream Doublelift champion to me. When I think Doublelift champion, I do think like Lucian, Vayne, Ezreal. I think of styling on people. I think of the high mechanics, like high outplay potential. I think of Kaisa, things like that.
I think of Senna in the side lane and farm.
Yeah, but I mean, sure, but you know, he also has insane mechanics, right? And so Senna, I just don't think has like the same. She doesn't have like the dual potential or like the outplay potential.
Sure.
I just don't view her as a champion that screams Doublelift to me.
You can play Ashe. Ashe is pretty good. If they want utility, they should be playing that.
That's true.
I know that you think that because that's what you told me earlier.
What about Aphelios?
It's banned most of the time. I think they'll pick it otherwise. I don't think they'll pick Senna over Aphelios.
You better ban Doublelift's Aphelios. That shit's got to be crazy.
Touche.
I think they have Aphelios in both of their wins.
That about sounds right. I don't actually remember whether this happens or not, but goddamn Aphelios.
That champion's broken.
In fact, it can 1v1 a bruiser, and that makes me upset.
You can 2v2 a bot lane and 1v2 3 a bot lane and a jungler if you're a little bit ahead.
Weapon of the...
All right, but I digress. The question was, is Doublelift bad at Senna? And I just don't think TL can fit it in. They just don't really know how to.
It's bad for them. It clashes with their playstyle. Their playstyle is to farm Doublelift until late game.
That's not what you do on Senna.
It's a very differently played champion because it doesn't have the wave clear. You can't really do objectives as well. You can't do like Baron with it. Super fast.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with Senna, is if Senna's your DPS, good luck doing any objective. You will never take Baron with Senna on your team. You always have to win a team fight before you can take Baron.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest problems with that, because most of the time TL can like drag you into a fight. That's been one of the things that's been happening with their scraps with TSM. I remember that was one of the first games that they had in the week where they had to keep on fighting for objectives, and TL was just better at dragging TSM into those fights and then getting the better positioning there. If you can't drag someone into a fight around Baron, that's a major objective, and that's a major disadvantage to the Team Liquid team.
It baffles me that they've made this mistake 4 times, and if they don't learn from, well, the patch is changing next week, so
I wonder why Double hasn't just been like, no, like, do not give me
He
Senna.
complained in 2 interviews about it, and I'm just like, so why are we still picking it? If he's willing to talk about it on the LCS broadcast and to Travis, why are we still picking this? I'd be like, I can't play this anymore. We're getting our shit rocked with it. Like, I get it, I'm good in lane with it, but we've lost 3 games on it. We need to pick something else as priority here.
Okay, so then do we immediately throw like the coach under the bus for this one?
I'd throw the coach under the bus if they're picking bad shit that their players don't want to play.
Okay.
Like, if you've lost 3 times on something on stage, you just put that shit away. This isn't the same thing as when TSM were trying to learn Galio Jarvan, and they just kept running it because they wanted to learn it and they wanted to get it perfect. Double just came out and said, I hate doing this, and they're still running it. No one came out and said, I hate playing Galio Jarvan. They're just like, yeah, we're not great at it, we're working on it, we're trying to play this to improve it. Like, it's an entirely different scenario, and it's on the coach to make sure that his players are comfortable in what they're playing.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So now what I'm wondering is, which coach is it? Is it Kane? Is it Dodo? Is it another?
Doesn't matter. It's the whole coaching staff is the same entity at this point.
Okay.
Like, blame
and
both.
The coaches should have enough sort of communication that if one of the coaches knows this player is really not comfortable on this pick, shouldn't be on this pick, that should then be communicated to the other coaches. Like,
okay.
But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony. You were the coach of a team, but collegiate team. But
the number one thing is to make sure that your players are comfortable in what they're doing. Like, besides matchup, or besides whatever the international matchup or the global percentage win rates of anything is, or the perception of it. If my player thinks that Poppy beats Darius, and I don't agree, but he can keep beating Darius with Poppy, I'm gonna be like, you know what, man? You go take that hammer.
You take that Poppy, you shove it up that Darius's butthole, bro. You go crazy, bro.
It's like, if you can pull it off, it's good. But if you're just delusional and you're like, no, I can play Poppy into Darius, I gotta stop you. It's just like, no, you've entered 4 games and we have to stop this. And at the same time,
this madness must end.
If you don't like playing Malzahar for 15 games in a row and you're like, I gotta play something else, but we keep winning, I'm probably gonna keep putting you on Malzahar. It's like, it's working. Shut up.
All right, but now.
But if it's like a double
times.
But
but that's not winning. That's not a winning.
Something else. I'm like, fine, we're going with Ashe now. We're going for other shit. This isn't working. We're not gonna look. This isn't gonna be relevant by summer. Or if it's relevant in summer, we'll relearn it over MSI.
Okay. So, clearly this is a coaching staff problem.
Partially. I do not, absolve Double with the blame for being so, antagonistic towards Senna. I don't know. I get it. He's not comfortable on it. Might mean he's not ready to play. But he at some point should be able to be like, I can play this. This isn't a scenario where he can be like, I'm not going to play Vladimir. He needs to be able to learn Senna because it's gonna. First off, he had 3 months to learn Senna for that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not learning Senna at this point, I don't understand why you're still so uncomfortable.
Okay, is Senna still going to be meta for the next
She might
weekend?
be viable. I don't know about meta.
No. Let me correct that. Is Senna getting the patch nerf in competitive play?
Yeah. 10.3 is the next week.
Okay, so maybe they might make a different decision, go in a different direction than Senna. Do you think that TL will improve majorly because of that?
No.
Not majorly, but I think partially.
Okay.
It will help them because Doublelift won't be a little pissy bitch.
You're going really hard on this, man.
Well, because players shouldn't absolutely hate playing the most meta champion that's out right now.
I disagree. I would hate. Listen to me, Anthony. If there was like a month where, like 2 months, where every weekend was a clash and we all played both days, and the most meta AD carry was Kalista, I would pick it, and I would fucking hate it. I don't care how good I am at Kalista. I don't. Right? Like, I could be literally going like 25-0 every week, like every game, every weekend, and I'd be like, this shit sucks. I do not like Kalista. And that's just what my attitude would be.
Right? You're like winning too much for that to be true.
I would enjoy the dubs. I would hate everything I had to do to get them, bro.
But you don't even hate playing Kalista that much.
I only like it when Doug is playing Warwick support or Zac support.
As a mini backstory, he has only lost 1 game on Kalista.
I just think Double shouldn't be this angry.
To find a loss.
I hate that champion so much.
Why is Double so against playing Senna? I don't know. All right, let's move on to TSM smashing this weekend. They look so good. It's so together this weekend, and they're about to play C9 next week.
But they're not. You're not going to talk about the TL sub that could happen?
No, we're moving on.
No, just for reference.
Also,
Haymon,
the jungle wasn't the problem. So
Haymon put in
POB.
Stop screwing my notes. We're talking about TSM smashing this weekend, about to play C9. What's our outlook on them? What do we think? How's this looking?
I want to see. TSM's been a very scrappy team this
time. You're not Matt, but go for it, I guess.
I didn't say Matt, but whatever.
I thought you did. Oops.
Don't worry. It wasn't rude at all.
Just go. Say what you want.
Okay, but TSM has been a very scrappy team, and they've really been working hard at figuring out. You've seen it week by week. Even with the mid-game problems, they've still been doing their hardest to sort it out. It showed this week. It really did. Their macro's been improving in the mid game.
Yeah, massive improvement on that front.
Yes. So, the question is, can they really drag out this game against C9 and bring them into that scrappy matchup? Because I haven't seen C9 in a position where they're losing a game. They've just been obliterating every single team this split. So, how do they do in a scrap match when it's just they have some sort of opposition where they have a little bit of pushback? That's more so what I want to find out about them, and that's probably going to be the most interesting part of this game.
I'm just looking forward to it because it's a clash of the Titans that I always love watching, and I always love making fun of Matt when they lose horribly and horrifically.
And what do you like about it when they win?
Oh, what, when C9 wins? Not much, because they never win the split anyway, so it didn't matter.
It didn't even
matter. Who missed 2 worlds in a row?
Oh, hang on, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Wait.
Who
hasn't won a split since 2014?
I'm sorry, but who doesn't get to go to international play? because Daddy Beard can't carry that team hard enough?
I mean, look, man, all I'm saying is...
we should save this for next week.
If this turns into a C9 obliterate, I will be very sad again.
Yeah, I'll be sad if this doesn't become a slugfest. Like,
I also will be sad if it's not a good game.
Yeah. Because if it's just a C9 obliterate, then it's just C9's the best team, and they're not going to find any competition in NA.
It's just not going to be a question until like week 8. I don't think any team's going to be able to keep up with them until them if TSM can't right now.
Maybe Dignitas, maybe no. That's
They
totally
beat Dig. They beat FlyQuest. The only team left is TSM.
Why do you keep harping on Dig, Hamon? I gotta know. What gears are turning in that brain of yours that make you think that round 2, Dig is coming back and giving him that owl wang? Like, what do you think is happening, bro? What do you see? What code? What lines in the Matrix?
Matt's just like, you sound so fucking dumb right now.
Who, me? I sound dumb right now?
No. This is basically what you're saying to me.
No, I don't think you sound dumb. Like, I will buy that you're a prophet. Just show me, right? Like, you just gotta prove it. Like, explain to me the methods of your divinations, and I'll believe you, bro. I will. But right now, I don't know the methods of these divinations. All I see are some ridiculous statements with nothing behind them.
TL doesn't make playoffs. This man says. Oh,
TL doesn't make playoffs.
That's CLG.
You crazy motherfucker, bro.
So
you're a madman. I'm sorry. I lost my cool. I'm sorry.
So back to TSM versus C9. How do we think that TSM's gonna improve in this next week? Because to be honest, I don't think that they were at C9's level as of last week, which means they have to improve over this week. Where are they going to improve exactly?
They've been making incremental improvements. You're not going to see like a sudden burst or anything. But the thing is that if they come into the early game with a plan, like they have been in like week 1, week 2, where you saw that outstanding early game, and if they maybe not execute 100% of it, but get like 50% execution, where C9's kind of at like an even point or on a back foot, and just not as super ahead, then maybe they have something to work with, and then after that it's the mid game macro, right? If they come in and C9 win the early game, then that's all that TSM has. They can't really scrap with anything past that. That's the only way that TSM gets in here. They need to get even just a somewhat significant early game lead, and then make the right macros in the mid game. And hopefully C9 doesn't hopefully C9 doesn't have a mental boom, or maybe they do have a mental boom.
C9 looks very solid. Like they look like they have a great idea about how they want to play most of the phases of the game. They look like they're not having too many fuck ups in draft. It looks like they're good individually. They're all playing really well. But that's the other thing though, is if they're all playing really well individually, is their teamwork just a symptomatic of their base level like laning pushing them up, kind of like how TL and TSM used to win back when they were in charge, or are they actually just a complete package at the moment that's pretty good? So like to me, they look pretty close to that complete package, and like they're pretty ready for MSI.
What you think, Matt?
I want to know where that was going, but I think Anthony's right. I don't think this is a case of just sheer sort of individual player dominance leading to wins, as has sometimes happened. I think this is much more the case of like not quite yet the complete package, but I think well on the way to being an extremely competitive international team. And obviously extremely competitive team here in North America. So, yeah. I think it's just more than, I think they're making really, really good decisions.
Will they be
everybody
the G2 version of NA?
No, not even a little bit. No one's gonna be the G2 version of anything.
No, because they're not sending
version of G2. Let me correct.
Let me get this clear. We're talking about C9, right?
Where they're just completely
so
dominant.
You're asking me about C9.
Yes.
So you're asking me if I think they're gonna send Sven top, Niski jungle, Vulcan mid, fucking, like, do I think they're putting fucking Kumo ADC, bro? No, I don't. Right?
No,
like, they're not G2.
Kumo's on EG.
Oh my god, remember that one time?
Oh shit, you're right. I meant Blabber. Fuck. I fucked you up.
Okay, hang on. You remember that one time where I think it was Touch Gaming with Hooney, or it was Echo Fox with Hooney, where they swapped him and Dardoch in jungle to put Hooney on, like, Talia jungle and Dardoch on Rengar top?
I do remember that. It was very funny.
Oh, it was so dumb. Oh my god.
That's the closest G2 NA, and thank God for it.
He tried to play Talia in every role that split.
Let me correct that. Where it feels like C9 could just do whatever they want and still get the done.
No, they couldn't do whatever they want.
On the way to doing that. No. Because that's what G2 can do.
That's not what G2 can do. G2 can do whatever comes to mind and win. They can't do whatever they want. They have to, think of it. And it just becomes true. I don't know.
They closed their eyes, they entered the divine chamber, and suddenly the strategies appear on the roof.
So no, C9 are not gonna swap their fucking mid laner down to 80.
They're not gonna run 3 top, 1.5 jungle, 7 mid. They're not doing shit like that.
Alright. Let's move on and talk about Dignitas and FlyQuest slowing down.
G2 makes me so mad, bro.
They do.
Dignitas and FlyQuest slowing down. Do we think it's gonna continue? Are they gonna kind of stagnate? So the real question is IMT and Evil Geniuses going to surpass them?
Awkward silence there.
I mean, IMT are above them in standings at the just to say.
They are. EG. What I noticed that Sven Skaren and Kumo are no longer on the academy team.
That's because they were waiting for what do we call it? Pieces.
So thank goodness for that one. There was still an MIA Onda, which was hilarious. You can just missing ping there. But yeah. I'm happy that Sven Skaren and Kumo are no longer on the academy team subbing in there, and that they can actually just work with their LCS squad mates. And now's probably the time we're going to see a little bit of an upturn in AG. This is probably the moment, because they're not doing as many games. They're not playing with different players anymore. They're just with their LCS squad.
I don't think the LCS team was I'm sorry. I don't think the academy team was practicing. I think the LCS team was doing normal practice, and then Sven and Kumo were just playing.
I still think that you treat the academy games competitively though.
Right. But why are you sacrificing? No. But why are you sacrificing?
I'm not saying that they put practice time in there, but I'm just saying that you still treat like your academy game like, oh, you're going in there going, hey, I'm with these other 3 people in this case, because Kumo, there's 2 people.
I'm not saying they don't play the games competitively. I'm just saying that they aren't going to invest their players' time into practicing it when they can also when they should be practicing with the main roster. They're probably going to grab a couple of subs off of solo queue or whatever to put in there just for fill time. But we're not supposed to be talking about EG so much. We're just supposed to be talking about their ability to pass Dignitas and FlyQuest.
I want to say they could. No, I don't actually see them.
I think they can do it.
You do?
I do.
I hope they do. I have EG rated higher than the Dig and Fly on my power rankings.
Hey, me too, bud.
I'm pretty sure they're at the bottom 3, but TL and CLG really want to prove me wrong.
But oh my god! All right. The FlyQuest looks solid. FlyQuest looks like they're probably going to keep on trucking. Dignitas is on a downturn right now.
Hang on. Can we like switch those or something, Haymon? Because that just sounds backwards to me.
No, PoEs have been looking like a great mid laner on FlyQuest, and Ignar still a solid support. Like I said, Wild Turtle, question mark. No, that's the only question mark I have right now.
Where's FlyQuest? Lost to C9, EG,
Probably TL.
TL.
C9 EGTL.
So they've beaten IMT, Dignitas, and CLG. Now, to me, that says we've beaten one team that is good, and we've lost to all the other decent teams, and even a couple that aren't that decent. To me, this looks like Evil Geniuses probably should be already rated over FlyQuest.
Okay. Well, I disagree a bit there because Viper and Santorin have been holding it out in the top and jungle duo. As the top and jungle duo for FlyQuest, and PoE looks like he's been overperforming, or at least been doing as good as he did back in the CLG days.
I'll agree he's had some good games, but I don't think PoE has been doing that amazingly. Like, he's not carrying this team anywhere. It kind of reminds me of Crown last split. So, or not last split, last year. So it's hard for me to like fully get on board, but I guess they're improving a little bit. I think everyone's improving except for TL, basically.
Also, Ignar's fucking crazy.
Ignar's pretty good on the not gonna lie. But I think IMT are pretty overrated, like statistically, because they're 4-2 right now, and I do not think they're a second place team. Like, not even close.
No, they do manage to bring out like the worst in teams somehow. Yeah.
So Matt, what do you think about Dignitas and FlyQuest? Are they going up? Are they going down? They're going sideways?
Fuck me.
Fly more like die. Dig more like 6 feet under.
Can I say my thing now, Hammer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so thanks, pal. I am more confident in Dig improving than FlyQuest, but that's based on almost nothing but intuition.
Intuition. I mean, they seem to have a stronger AD carry with Johnson.
Yeah.
It seems.
Well, I think in the real world, Wild Turtle's better, but I don't know that he's doing great on this team.
He's always in that position of being Wild Turtle, where he's never bad. He kind of plays up to the players around him. I think if Wild Turtle,
I just don't think the players are on this team are like. I don't think a lot of the players on the team are like fire, right? Like, they're like a decent league team, but they're not inspiring me with the same confidence or potential that other lower ranked teams or mid-tier teams currently have. There are a lot of like lower mid-tier teams where I'm like, yeah, I could see this team doing really well, but they're in like one of them where I'm like, I guess, right? But like, I don't know.
I feel like Viper is still growing, but I think I kind of mentioned or noted this back when we were doing our power rankings, is that Santorin seems like a giant, like a giant improvement spot you could have here. He is an NA resident, and you could have gotten Pobelter instead of PoE, and then imported a different jungler, or tried a new jungler, because to me Santorin just feels really kind of
not as good as he used to be.
He's an extremely known quantum. Even when he was on TSM, I don't feel like he was that amazing. He did pretty good.
He was consistent, which is what they needed. But
I forget if it's Santorin or Amazing that has the IEM championship.
Catch twice? No, it is Santorin. Yeah.
Santorin?
Yes, because that was season 5 Darius, and when they were like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the most amazing roster ever," and then it
was pretty good. That was a good roster.
It was, and then it also went boom.
mean.
That was yeah. All right.
That's when
moving on
Annie's
from-
support was good.
Season
Yes.
5?
Yeah, they
And-
played it. That was with Les Boy. They played a lot of Annie's support in that tournament.
And once again, back to the original point, that's when TSM got the IAM Cata twice with Santor in there.
Did you say
Katowice.
Cata twice?
I
Yes,
don't
well, he
know
said
how to
Katowice.
pronounce it. I don't.
Katowice. Yeah, you could have just like kind of.
Yeah,
You could've just watched
trailed
the
Or you
off.
could have just said when they won IEM.
You're right. You're right.
I don't know why you
Anyhow.
kept saying Katowice.
Katowice. That's just my go-to. But yeah, Santorin has it.
I'm thinking they're gonna stagnate. I think they're gonna kind of settle into the 5th, 6th, maybe 4th, 5th slots, somewhere around there, and then the others, everyone else will kind of move around them.
All right.
I think 100 Thieves is I don't know. They're like on this precipice of making playoffs and not making playoffs at the moment. But this is also assuming that TL doesn't go boom, and TL is looking quite explosive at the moment.
I'm a little bit confused about 100T.
How
That's
so?
the problem.
How so?
Meteos is a good jungler. And yet, every single invade has happened to him.
Yup.
Every single team has went, you know what? They don't know how to deal with their jungler getting invaded, except for that one time. Just the one time in the TL game. Just the one time. All right.
Wait. What about the Dignitas game?
Refresh my memory. What about the Dignitas game?
Wait, was that? I think. Oh no. Wait, I was thinking of the TSM game. Never mind. I can't remember. There's too many games.
So they really need to work on handling that level 1. That's really important.
I mean, the problem is that they're picking him Gragas, and Gragas kind of blows at level 2.
It's really easy to
invade.
It's very easy to invade Gragas early because he's very bad at dueling early. He doesn't have a lot of damage. He has pretty weak clear, so he's usually kind of low. And he's just not great early.
Yep. So once again, at 100T has not been doing as good of a job of playing around that hole. Whereas, okay, for example, in the TSM versus EG game, okay, Dardoch, instead of doing his blue to go to Gromp, because he knew he was on Gragas, he knew he was going to be invaded, decided to do blue to his wolves, right? Very smart pathing on his part. I did not see that in the 100T games. I did not see like super smart jungle pathing to avoid like the level 1 or to get him out of it, or like a team response to help with the Gragas, right? That's what I want from 100T. That's what I want to see.
I can see that, but at the same time, I think it might just kind of be luck that we're getting to that point. Like, it might not even matter. Because if they start on the opposite sides of the map, it doesn't... Like, no one's going to invade. They could just do that. There's just a lot to do on level 1, and trying to mirror your jungle starts is important. I just don't think it matters if they try to get smarter level 1s when you can just... There are very simple ways to not give a shit about someone invading you early. You can just take one camp and walk away. You can just go take their camps while they're trying to invade you. Like, these aren't like big brain things. It's quite simple. And I think Meteor should know them, and Meteor should definitely be playing to them. In the TL game, Meteos was on fire. He was just picking people apart. He was turning Schernfire into his bitch, and I'm just like, where's this Meteos been all the time? The one who just walks up and takes what everyone's trying to take from him. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see him just trying to skirt shit.
Yeah, no, he must have had like a goddamn good promos that week, or like a good series of games.
What?
I don't know. Meteos is an emotional player. I think he just had a good week and
wait.
up
What
that
makes you
game.
say Meteos is an emotional player? Hang on.
Hey, he does that.
What kind of intangible bullshit are you spouting here?
He's one of those players where, while he has a very consistent baseline, where if he's having a good time, he's having a hell of a good time. And if he's having a bad time, he's still there.
A hella bad time?
It's not a hella bad time. He's not enjoying it, but he's still playing.
I don't feel like their level 1 is exactly what's losing them games. I think it's Meteos getting pressured and then the team not being like they just don't know what they're doing when that happens. That they need more coordination around that in general and not necessarily being able to see it coming or anything, because it's happened to them every single game basically. Everyone's invading Meteos because apparently he's easy to invade now. I don't know why.
That's one of the things that's happening, and it's also because, there's a little bit of a mid difference there.
Oh yeah, they have Ryoma. Yeah, I'm gonna put this all on Ryoma. I'm gonna do that.
Meteos is getting invaded because their mid lane is too weak. That's the correlation.
Sure.
Okay. All right. I do think Ryoma in lane does not look good.
Ryoma does not look good at all. Him and Aika are the biggest, like, why the fuck would you pick these chumps to me? Like, I have no clue why anyone would do that.
Okay. Is
that good for those topics?
Yes.
Move on to our picks for this week. Hey, Mont, you quote unquote won last week. Would you like to go through and harass us about our picks this week?
Okay, I see one IMT. I see a TSM over C9. All right, Anthony's got some hope. I'm happy.
Do not give him this power. He's gonna go crazy. He doesn't know how to wield it, Anthony. He's too young.
I'll hit the stone young. You know me.
All right, well, let's go over the first one. TL versus IMT. I called Team Liquid. Matt called IMT, and Anthony also.
We don't have to go down them one by one. We can just sort of give an overarching thing where we disagree on big matchups.
Okay, let's see. TL IMT. Yep, we have the disagreement in TL versus IMT. C9 versus TSM. All right.
Those are only two disagreements?
Did kind of go over
we
that
literally all agree on everything else.
Okay, well,
wait,
what
actually,
about...
There's 3 matches and it's the first 3.
Well, now...
Oh yeah, there are 3 disagreements since the first 3.
Let's go over the third worst one. Why do you think that GG will not lose to CLG? I'm phrasing this very
one of those teams. One of those teams beat Team Liquid.
Well, one of those teams is running Keith, but here's my other problem: is I seriously
shout out Keith.
Hey, one of those teams dismantled Team Liquid.
Okay, dismantle's a nice word to put there, but whatever. Look, TL arrived at Assembly. What's it fucking called? Damn it! I've ruined the joke.
Assembly required.
Yeah, there.
Team Liquid.
It's not a whole product yet. Okay. But the reason why I have GG over CLG is because I had to pick one of them, and I do not know who I should pick. So I just decided, you know what, GG beat TL. They have a better shot at winning. CLG got fucking backdoored.
That's fair. Don't worry, I'm still on the CLG hype train.
I just don't think that's a controversial, like, that any pick in this match, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, okay, who cares? It doesn't matter. This is like, if they put this match on fucking Monday Night League again, I would have been so pissed. 2 awful matchups in a row.
In that case, let's go over the one big one. Why is IMT going to beat TL?
Because TL looked absolutely crazy, and I might even be willing to lock this one in permanently if Broxa even showed up.
If it happens again.
Even if Broxa shows up?
Yeah.
Even if Broxa shows up.
If they lose to CLG, they're getting demoted.
Wait,
They're
does
just
TL play
not
CLG
no
this
longer.
week? Oh no.
If they lose to CLG, they're getting demoted.
Oh no. That's not gonna go well. I can't see that ending well for them.
I can't see.
So let's talk about this matchup, though.
Which one?
Which had not
TSM.
the CLG one.
Well, I just.
Oh, TSM versus FlyQuest. After I made an entire argument about why maybe FlyQuest could be holding it on, still picks TSM. All right.
It's true.
All right, Matt. So, why do you think that INT are gonna beat TL?
Oh, because I watched TL's games this week.
That's mean.
What do you? Is it? They looked really scattered. They looked like they didn't have a great control of the, sort of the mid game. They didn't look like they have great control of like sort of team dynamics or team organization. Unless they fix their drafting problems or whatever problems that are causing their team cohesion to suffer like this, I think IMT has enough team cohesion to beat them, right? Because I don't think you need much at this point.
No, all you need to do is leave up Senna.
No,
Oof.
I still
Big
believe
oofs.
I still believe Team Liquid has something.
You think there's juice left in that tank?
At the baseline, even they still have one goddamn piston, Matt.
Piston.
One goddamn piston.
I didn't ask about pistons, but all right. I asked about the juice. All right, next game. Because I don't want to hear you wax poetic about this for too long. Cloud9 versus TSM. Anthony picked TSM because he has to contractually. I picked C9 because I have to contractually whenever they face. Hamon, why are you wrong? And you don't have a contract. You don't have a contract to fall back on here.
No one's paying you.
Well,
no one's paying me.
Oh, I'm getting paid.
Well,
what?
We did kind of go over this point. That TSM has been coming out with like good early game strategies. Some of them, like, you know, wind up being super effective. Some of them wind up being like pretty effective. All right, so I want to see TSM come in with this plan, execute on it, hopefully get like some sort of significant lead and start pressuring C9. And then after that, I want to see how C9 can actually handle it, because they've just been the team that obliterates, right? They haven't had any real opposition. What I want is from this game is just for TSM to put up some sort of opposition and put them into a scrap and out team fight them.
I'll be
that may not necessarily happen, because, well, I don't think Broken Blade is like there's a big difference between Broken Blade and Licorice.
I think you're high on that one. That's not where the difference in these two teams is going to come from.
Correct.
I mean, wow. That may not be it. Broken Blade's really been letting me down in terms of like how he's been.
Did you not watch the games this weekend? Hang on. This man played Aurelia and Kiana top lane.
Yes, and then he dove and died about 3 times underneath turret when he didn't need to on Aurelia. All right. I'll give the man credit. I'll give the man credit for carrying in that game, but I will not give him overdue credit because he still made mistakes on that Aurelia game and died at times when there was a time, right, when they got the flash out of the enemy top laner, and then he went whole hog ham and into the kill underneath the turret. All right, I'm not giving Broken Blade that credit. That's still a top difference. Even though
Blade died twice entirely that game. That also wasn't him diving alone. That was on a gank.
Mm-hmm. And
why are you blaming him for following up a gank?
Dardoch was out. He was like, "We got the flash. We're good."
No. Wait.
This is no. Do we have to do this right now?
He did not need to go that ham underneath that turret, dog.
He got fucking stunned by Elise. That's the only reason he died. He had flash.
Do we have to do this right now?
When the hell else are we gonna do it, Matt?
And never, ideally. Ideally, I do not want to hear about the intricacies of this fucking failed dive.
I'm not saying it was a great or an amazing dive.
No, neither. I'm not saying you're wrong, Anthony, because you're right here. I just don't. I don't want to fight about this.
Bjergsen, Broken Blade failed one dive, and that's
well,
why
actually,
he's worse than
actually, that's what you both sound like right now, and I want you to know that.
Oh, don't worry, we're going.
No, we're gonna go on to Golden Guardian CLG because
we
I
already
will
talked
fucking
about
die.
this one.
Oh, great! Fuck. Then I have no way to cut this off. All right, have at it.
Well, there is one way that we can cut this off, but I think you're gonna have to ask for it, Matt.
No, I mean you guys can just keep going. I don't want to.
How dare you besmirch the name of Broken Blade like that? How dare you, Hema? That's all I got.
The desk did enough when they photoshopped just his forehead.
That was the best thing!
It was extremely fun.
Alright. So let's actually go to the last thing that we do have, which is what match are we looking forward to? I think me and Matt are gonna have the same match we're looking forward to. That's the C9 versus TSM match. I've been looking forward to this.
I'm always looking forward to this one, buddy.
I'm glad that it's on the first day because it'll kind of solidify which team is #1 for at least a day until TSM loses.
And even then, it will not solidify TSM as #1 because they're still not.
Mathematically, no, but technically, yes. Because they have the matchup at that point. Also, I think IMT... So, if IMT lose to TL and TSM win, TSM are definitively first, mathematically, also. Because they own the matchup over C9, and they are tied for first place.
Okay. What about the matches that you just definitely don't want to see this week? Because I got one in particular.
Wait. No one else went.
I agreed with you.
Okay, yeah. So, Hamlin, which one are you looking forward to?
I am not looking forward to both of the
Literally wasn't the question.
The absolute
We can do
opposite.
that one next.
Because the only one is just going to be C9 versus TSM. That's it. I really
fine.
just want to elaborate how much I'm not looking forward to the CLG versus TL match and how much I'm not looking forward.
I'm so excited for the CLG TL match because if TL loses, I will never stop talking about it.
I gotta make a meme Taj to put on the TL subreddit.
And of course,
we all have to make it's our duty as human beings.
And then, of course, the second one, TSM versus FlyQuest. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of. I don't know. I don't want to see that match because TSM losing isn't happy for me.
As both a CLG and FlyQuest fan, I just don't like.
Wait, you're a CLG fan? Why are you on the show? Hang on, Matt.
I literally only found out he was a CLG fan earlier, bro. He's been hiding his credentials.
I have been.
You are hiding your way in, sneaking under the radar. How dare you walk into
my
place of business and then spout this bullshit?
Hey, I like Weldon, and that's it. not even a player.
I mean, why do you like Weldon?
Because he's been, he's done great work.
Do you agree with the things he said about Koreans? No.
The fact that they won't scrim people, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what he said about Koreans totally anymore.
I just remember it's what got him fired.
It didn't get him fired.
I thought that's what made him leave TSM.
No. What the real problem was that people thought Korean teams weren't scrimming at TSM because of the things he said, which was also false. Because I don't know why the Korean teams would care that much.
I no longer care about this topic.
I mean, it's meaningless at this point.
No.
Fellas, I have a question for Anthony.
Do you?
Okay.
Would you like to take us home?
Yeah, I think I will. Alright, that'll do it for week 3 of the NALCS here on the Legendary League of Legends podcast. You can catch us at... Did you already invite me?
I did already invite you.
Already?
You can catch us
we got the with Tony and everything.
Can I finish my outro? All right, I'm gonna restart this to make you wait.
Sorry, you wanna? All right, do you wanna take us on home?
Sure, I'll do that. All right, that'll do it for week 3 of the NALCS on the Legendary Legends podcast. You can catch us on twitch.tv/Nizzy2K11 at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can catch the VODs on the YouTube channel, Legendary Podcasts. And have a nice night.